Hello. Hi there people, this is Phenom Gaming here with a stream on Crash Team Racing Nitro Field. Now recently with a new update, just to show what I'm going to be going for here, all the online rankings for every track in the game had been reset. So I've basically just going to go through and set new times for every single track in the game. That is literally what the concept is going to be here. Right. So we'll start just at the top and just work our way to the bottom. So I'm not going to guarantee that I'll beat the newly done developer times. I feel like that's maybe one ambition a bit too much here. But while we're at it, just for an aesthetic standpoint, we're just going to go for... I'll just go for the host characters on each one, so I'm not going to go for balanced, I'm going to go for speed on this one, I think. And I'll just see what happens from there. So, yep, this looks like a good layout. With the newer updates, since all the Grand Prix are now over, they've given away, like, they've done a few bonus, like, a few bits of new content, so like new legendary skins for characters, new carts, paint jobs, decals, wheels and stuff, and this new Beanox themed set that Beanox gave everybody who's played the game in that. It's something I've been using quite a bit recently because I just like the new aesthetic on the way the wheels look and that. So, with that underway, if I can at least keep up ahead of the velo times that I've already beaten, then it shouldn't be too bad. So that does that. I'm gonna have to possibly change the controller around after this race, just so I don't run out mid-race. So don't think I'm having my best run on Crash Cove because I've beaten the velo time on this before, and even Velo's Ghost is getting a slight bit ahead of me now. Come on, at least beat Velo, can't I? Right, I don't even think I beat the velo time on that one. But still, it's a score on the board. So there is that. Get to changing the level. But I'm also... Since this controller's running out of power, I'm just going to swap them round quickly. Excuse me. So next is... just to double check. Oh, I might have just beaten the velo time with the online bit. So next is Mystery Caves. Doesn't have a particular one that hosts it, so I'm just going to choose different character to go with the time on this. Yeah, why not? We'll go with Nasty Knock.
I'm gonna win this!
Because this looks like the sort of place he'd dwell in. Right, so here we go. We have mystery caves here. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to beat many of the developer times, but well, the fact that I've kept near enough no momentum there, I don't know if I'm going to beat any times apart from maybe entropies. Now I've done that. But the intention here is just to set some new online times, regardless of, I'd say regardless of how poorly I do, but that's not the best start. See if I can do myself a bit more of a respectful run here and catch up to at least Oxide's time. Because again, this is the one I've also beaten the velo time on before, but if I haven't given myself the momentum at the beginning, then I'm not expecting myself to do too well here. But I'm also sort of intrigued as to, you know, what life out, like, you know, apart from what's already been released, what else life outside of the Grand Prix is going to offer, you know, like content-wise and that. Like, are they going to introduce, you know, more legendary skins through patches in the future and that? Because I know they're doing, like, more challenges, like daily, weekly, and some pro challenges on, like, setting them every now and then. Like the first lot were given like 41 days or something like that. Oh, catching up the velo. These developer times, my god, that Polar Ghost is too far ahead for my own life. You know, it's gonna take me what feels like forever to beat these times. Right, so I haven't matched velo on this occasion. Yep, haven't matched velo on this occasion, but the intention of this stream is just to have a bit of fun with each of the time trials and that, just to go through each level, show off ways to possibly, like, you know, if I get ahead of certain ghosts, ways to beat them along the way, and if I'm behind certain ghosts, ways not to beat them. But now we have Sewer Speedway, and this could go horribly wrong very quickly. We will go with our first. Tell you what, in the Sewer Speedway, we'll go with the lab assistant. We'll have him dressed as a lumberjack. Because lumberjacks are always... The lumberjack skin, just a bit of a throwback to Crash 2, and that was where the sewer levels were in the main game. Sorry about the lack of words here, I'm just trying to think of something to say about them. So, this one's a Zam Ghost, I think. It is. I just love the aesthetic of, like, how, you know, like the effect on the wheels are for the Beanox wheels. Right, this is the one where hopefully I can time it so I'm not getting squished by anything, because this one's always like a make or break sort of track for these kinds of things. And here we go. Right, so 2 laps so far so good for the shortcut. Because it's either the shortcut or the rolling barrels that always bugging me over. Right, let's see if I can get any momentum back. But yeah, this is literally, in my opinion, one of the worst tracks to do for a time trial, because once you lose a bit of momentum like that, that's it. Like, you're lucky to even like beat Oxide's Ghost, which I don't think I'm gonna do on this run. Yeah, so that was just a bit of an unfortunate run there. Anyway, I've just beaten Oxide's Ghost, and that was it. So, not one of my better runs on that track, but at least I've set a time for the online. I've reset another time for the online community bit now. And now we've got Ruse Tubes. A minute 16, that is insane. Right, we'll go with Mad Scientist Rue for this one. I don't think I'll be like faffing on with the kart settings too much. It's just going to literally be just showing off different characters and skins as well during the course of this stream. So fingers crossed I get a bit of a better time, a bit of a better run this time round, and I can beat the Velo Ghost at least. Because, yeah, like I said, these developer ghosts are going to be something else to beat. Nope, I've definitely lost a little bit of momentum, but not enough to put me behind Velo, so that's not too bad. I definitely don't think it's enough to catch up to... Oh god. That's what I get for gambling about going through that gap. Another one where I perform badly enough to not beat the Velo Ghost. But I live and learn from little times like, from moments like these. Look at that, only just beaten the Oxide Ghost. That was a bit of a terrible run. Right, so on to the next level, which I believe is Coco Park. So, oh no, Slide Coliseum next, sorry, not Coco Park. Bloody hell. So the Slide Coliseum time's 10 seconds ahead of me. Okay, excuse me. So for Slide Coliseum... why not? We'll use Baby Entropy. And we'll see how well that goes. So, got baby entropy for this track. Just watching the rate at this bloody ghost tackling this track. Yep, I'm gonna have to come up with like a load of new tricks in order to be able to beat these developer ghosts. Because there is no way that I'm going to beat these overnight. And I've cottoned on to one new trick, but that's about it. Maybe just, you know, taking that bit slightly different like I have done as well. There we go, I've shaved 3 seconds off my best ever time on that. So that's a thing. But yeah, that's going to take a lot to be able to do anything with. So yeah, this is a challenge I'm going to dread, but it's something I'll try and push myself to eventually do. For turbo track, we'll use Baby Crash in his little monster PJs, and we'll just see how well this goes. A lot of this is going to be me having, you know, the floor wiped with us when it comes to the developer ghosts. Won't lie about that, but when it comes to other characters and, like, you know, some of the new content that's been put in, I can see maybe why they haven't you know, I was a bit disappointed to see some characters didn't get new legendary recolorings right away, but they're probably saving that for, like, you know, another patch later on in time or something like that, so then, you know, there's like more content for future patches and stuff, so then we're not just burnt out straight away with, oh, well, if this is all we're going to get for this, then right, this is nowhere near my best time here. Okay, I've been doing my turbo boost, and yet I'm still losing my blue fire near enough straight away. Yeah, I'm not even beating the velo time. Look at that bloody chicken go. Now imagine that little trick I've just done when about to cross into the third lap is what the chicken's also doing. Right, but yeah. Again, far from my best run on this. Yep, 7 seconds short of my best run. Excuse me. But, like I said, this is just about getting more, like, all the scores back on the board. To some degree, and then I'll look to top those runs, like those attempts, at other points in the future. So now it's Cocoa Park. So we'll go with Cocoa. Let's see.
As expected.
Yeah, let's go with Dark Cocoa on this particular attempt. So this one again should be another one that'll, you know, be quite a lot of attempts to overdo. I think when it comes to the velo time ones as well, though, like apart from like Turbo Track where I couldn't maintain a steady bit of momentum. Let's see what this developer time does straight away. Right, so they go for that. Yep, that little jump trick. And because I lost my bit of momentum there, I don't even think I'm going to catch velo now. It's doing so well. Thought here I am, I'm holding my ground against the developer time.
Let's go.
Yep. Not even beaten Velo's time on this attempt, but I feel like some of Velo's times are going to get easier for me to beat once like some of them go more with the blue flames and that.
That's how it's done.
Although maybe with the exception of Cortex Castle, because I haven't beaten the Velo time on Cortex Castle yet. So now that that's Cocoa Park out the way, so it's probably going to take less than the 2 hours I'd projected for it to be as well. So, I mean, if I get them finished earlier, it just means it's a tad bit of a quicker stream. But, excuse me. So, Tiger Temple this time, a minute and 30. That is going to be ridiculous. But let's go with Rustling Pura for this, since this is Pura's track. I know it doesn't strictly say it's like, you know, Pura's track or anything like that, but just for saying Tiger Temple and seeing all sorts of other tigers around just sort of gives us the impression that, yep, this is definitely Pura's track. Not, let's have a nosy, so... Well, I have no idea how they're keeping momentum that early. Look at this, I'm even behind Entropy because of what I've done. See if I can catch up to Velo at least. I doubt I'm going to. Bloody hell, look at that bloody developer ghost. Yeah, I feel like there were some challenges that this world wasn't longed for completing, and I'm starting to get an early impression that this developer one is not something that this world was longed to complete. I mean, look at this, I'm having that bad a run today that I'm not even catching up to bloody Velo on most of these tracks. And now that's definitely scuppered that. I'm not gonna lie, but most of these ghosts, like most of these times now, make the Oxide ghosts look like a complete joke. And some of them are even starting to do the same to the Velo ones that were just added last month. What was that, 150? So that's my 6th best time, so... I feel like I'm going to see a lot of these today where the times aren't going to be great. Because I've done better before. But sometimes you have a good day, sometimes you don't. And that's just about picking up and moving on. I believe Pat Moo's Pyramid's next. So, again, just for the fun of it, getting all the ghosts there. I will play as Pirate Papu. With his big salty tattoo on him. And I feel like this one's going to be another track that's difficult to tackle, but God knows how this Ghost's going to get this time, like. They must have to literally, like, be flawless around the square spiral thing on all 3 laps as they go up. Like, surely. Oh, they managed to hit the boost. They take the cut over that. Right, so they don't take the top part of the shortcut. They just take the bottom part. Right. Get back to your Velo. That was terrible. Now I'm going to be lucky to catch Oxide at this rate as well. And that's the thing, like, the bloody track hazards being there half the time can really scupper a run. Like the ones on Super Speedway, like the ones in Tiger Temple, like the ones on here. Like, I just feel like, you know, sometimes this mode becomes a little more unfair with like hazards being enabled and stuff. Like, it's not something I've really spoke about, me feeling like something's unfair on the game and things like that, but look at that, only just beaten the Oxide time. And again, not my best score, but it's just something as I think about more and more as time goes on, that, you know, hazards in this game are like for time trial when you're meant to be just focusing on speed and stuff. Like sometimes I feel it's a bit unfair, but I know it's, you know, just trying to replicate the games. You know, like the track should be the same for every mode and things like that, but I feel like I'm alone in that, to some degree. Yeah, it's been Rustling Dingo. For Dingo Canyon on this one. it's going to be perceived as me just moaning about everything now, which isn't the case. I love a challenge, but when you're trying to beat, I don't know. I think it's probably just because I'm having a bad day, like with navigating the tracks and stuff. I feel like that definitely could be the key. Like, Crookster's problem. Right, so the developer time takes that little bit at the beginning. Yeah, I'm definitely not having, like, the best of attempts to do it this. I think though with the developer times, you can see how far ahead they're getting of, like, all these other ghosts. That's just going to involve, oh god. Right, I'm not catching Velo now. It's just going to involve a ridiculous amount of, like, studying the paths in where each one goes and just going through it again and again and again. And I feel like for each track now, it's going to be something that takes me possibly hours to do. I mean, I hear that you unlock, like, a nice set of wheels afterwards and that, but I'm starting to think that, you know, I think they're called the master wheels or something like that. But I'm starting to think that, you know, at this rate, it's going to be something even. I'm not going to be able, like, I'm not even going to be able to obtain it. Like, this is what literally, these developer times is what's literally separating, like, the best from the best. And I never said I was great at the game or anything like that. But I do feel like I'm alright at the game, if that makes sense. So, Polar Pass. Look at that, 2 minutes and 9. Not an impossible time, but we'll be... It's called Marmalade Polar anyway, but I'm calling them Paddington Polar. Because that's easy what that's a reference to. I think there's a few different character references being added with the new legendary skins. Like, there's what I call Paddington Bear Polar in this one, which is a reference to a children's book I believe it. Yep, it's a reference to a children's book character. About a bear who lives in London with a family who travels from Peru, and he just loves marmalade, which is why they've named him the Marmalade Bear on here. There's a one for the lab assistant, which has him looking the spit and pop of Where's Wally. And there's also another one somewhere. And I'm sure it's another character reference. I will find it again. How high? How are they getting that high? Right, here we go. Here's the thing though, that I mean, the developer ghosts are literally flawless on this as well. So, like, yeah, I'm not catching that. I'm not catching that dingo now. But it is about literally. It is literally about learning how to do these tracks flawlessly. That's going to get the developer times beat. But I'm just trying to remember the other skin that recently came out that like is a reference to another like character. Because I know Musketeer Pura to me, even from like the very beginning, because it was one of Pura's legendary skins anyway. Like, was a Puss in Boots reference to me. And there's been other subtle ones over time, like when Komodo Mo came out, and there was a Master Mo skin. And I thought with the way that looked, that was like a Jedi Master reference. We've got, you know, Paula here. Like I said, he's Paddington Bear. There's a lab assistant one I'll gloss over quickly before I do the next race. Which is, in my opinion, you know, a Where's Wally reference. If there ever was to be one. So I was only 3 seconds shy of the best score. But again, I need to learn to do that flawlessly in order to be able to achieve the times achieve anywhere near the developer times. But I'll probably have a lot of time to do that one, you know, now that, you know, the entire world's in lockdown at the moment. 3 minutes and 9 that Zam time has. Right, which one was it that looks like a different character? Oh no, there we go, it wasn't a different character. It was Entrance, Chocolate Humpty Entrance, just looking like a giant cream egg. That's what it was. Wasn't a character, it was a confectionery reference. But, nope, 1 second. But yeah, now that the world's pretty much at a standstill with this coronavirus pandemic, I'll have a bit more time to practice getting up to speed with the time trials and see if I can get anywhere near. Like, I think I looked at the natural as intended times, and the closest I am to a developer time at the moment is in Engine Labs. I think I'm like a second short of defeating a developer time, and if I can get just at least one developer time done, like as early as possible, it'll feel like a win for me. But it's like, I just don't get how they managed to keep up, like, you know, all this speed up flawlessly. And then again, it's the developers' times, they'll have had time to, you know, work out all the kinks, practice all the tracks over again. Yeah, this is a tiny arena now. We are the black outfit variant on General Tiny. Yeah, it's just little bits like that. I need to learn how to sort of time other bits and bobs a bit better. But, yeah. On the most part, it's just characters that I never really see. I mean, to be fair, I see dingoes used fairly frequently by the community and stuff like that, but other bits like, you know, I don't see Zam used too often. I saw Pasadena used quite a lot when she first came out, and I suppose Pola's used semi-frequently. And although, to be fair, King Chicken's used quite a lot. But I think that's just because it's King Chicken. It's just absolutely hilarious to see King Chicken kicking about. Yeah, they're literally doing these things in under a minute. Well, that's might have cost me doing the velo time. I'm not sure yet, to see if I can build up any more momentum. Here we go. Oh, thank God that velo ghost crashed into a wall. Gives me some sort of chance. And that was not a good way to try and keep up that momentum. And I'm just going for the turbo a bit too early now, because I know for a fine fact I failed to roll, so yeah, I've not beat the velo time this time round. Apparently a new high score. Yeah, 325 and so much, but you know, not my greatest score, but it was a semi-decent run. It was a semi-decent attempt anyway. So I believe next is Dragon Mines. You know, like everyone's favourite track. He says loosely. Right, so time for Komodo drop. So let's just readjusting the headset here. Yep, a track which, because what Beanox also did recently was on the single race mode, do a special Beanox crate in every track, and once you cracked all the crates you unlocked a new character. And the Dragon Mines one I thought was going to be a bit of a nightmare to get to, but it was a lot more straightforward than I imagined. That chicken's going to go through that shortcut, isn't it? Yep, this was the biggest mistake I could have possibly made. Yeah, I've made the mistake to the point where I'm not even going to catch the Oxide Ghost now, I don't think. Ah, nuts. Am I even going to beat the Trophy Ghost at this rate? Flippin' heck, that chicken ghost has literally overlapped me. Velo's nearly finished. Oxide's nearly finished. Come on. Even Trophy's finished before I have. This is absolutely disgraceful. I will definitely be looking to rectify this in my own time. Yeah, that's right. Go away, Komodo Joe. You're not even getting a place on the scoreboard today. Get lost. That was a disgraceful run. That really was. I'm ashamed of that. Not gonna lie, I am ashamed of that. Blizzard Bluff. 1 minute 14. Jesus Christ. Right, let's be Jester Penta. That's what we're going to be for this one. And hopefully we'll do better at this than we did at Dragon's Mines. And so here we go. I know again it's not officially stated to be like Penta Penguin's home track or anything, but I just feel with all the little penguins kicking about and stuff that it's sort of fitting to have Penta on this track. Right, so the developer time even goes over that bloody fence. That's the one bit I was afraid of seeing with that ghost. Going over that bloody fence. Right, you know what? No. This is the only time I'm doing this. This is the only time I'm restarting one of these because I know I can hit this one flawlessly. And let's just see how, if I can actually do this. Even the entropy ghost takes that. Yeah, that goes straight over that fence. And that is one thing I can never do properly, is get over that fence. Really? And this is just showing. This is just telling about how difficult this is going to be. Right, I haven't even beaten the velo time this time round either. I mean, I could have tried hopping over the fence, but that is literally the only way I'm going to be able to beat that ghost, is learning how to fence hop. So I've still got a lot of tricks I need to learn. So I believe next up is Hot Air Skyway. So a one where, again, it's more about trying not to fall down all the pits. And the ghost does it in 2 minutes 13. So we've got Shamrock Gangster, Outback Gangster. I'm going for negative Gangster Pinstripe here. I know some people have different preferences for engines over tracks as well. I'm just literally going through it on, I'm literally just going all out with the speed on these ones, and I'll probably, in fact I might change to acceleration for Engine Labs because I know I can control it a bit better, but outside of that it's not really too much I'm gonna change. Right, so here we go. With negative pinstripe. Here we go. And now to have any chance, even though I'm probably not going to catch up, I've got to just do all of this flawlessly. And it's just, yeah, momentum just stops like in an instant on this track sometimes, and it's the one thing I'm not such a fan of with this track. Even the velo time I've got to sort of be pretty much flawless with, 'cause I'm not catching him now. Yeah, because I was keeping a good bit of momentum there, and it just stops on a whim. It is, this one in my opinion is one of the most frustrating tracks to keep the blue flame on. It is like such a frustrating track, but even this still isn't as frustrating to keep blue flame on is, you know, the next track, which is Cortex Castle. I mean I've beaten a vast majority of the velo times, just like indicated by the stars I've got on the tracks and stuff. If I hadn't beaten the velo ones, I wouldn't even be able to see the developer times. But like, with things like that happening, where momentum can stop at a dime and things like that, how do the developers manage to do these? Like, how do these ghosts manage to do this like so flawlessly?
I'm the speed champion, alright.
2 minutes 40, so it's my third best pinstripe start at time. Right, I'm thinking Hot Air Skyway's the bonus track for today, and pinstripe was the character for the daily challenges, even not the bonus track. What am I on about? Right, so Cortex Castle's next, and we don't have a developer ghost to look at the moment because I haven't beaten the velo track yet. So we're just using B-Nox Cortex here. Yeah, this is one of the only tracks I haven't beaten the velo ghost on, and I can't imagine that's going to change on this run, so I know, forever optimistic, but I feel like I'm just being a bit realistic about my expectations for these trials today. And there's our friend the lab assistant just getting electrocuted. This isn't too bad to start off with. Nope, that's it. Nice bit of lost momentum there. And now a bit of regained momentum. Watch this be the one I finally beat velo on. I just don't like give myself enough of an anticipation for it. And so far, so good. So far, so good. But yeah, it's just like these ones later on when you've like got the blue flame and stuff, and you're just able to sort of maintain it for a copious amount of time. Just sort of makes the challenge of the Oxide Ghosts look like a bit of a joke in hindsight. Okay, I botched it. Yeah, not beating Velo now. And I'm too far behind to expect to catch up as well. Yep, Oxide's Ghost isn't going to beat me now. So, there we go, 2:17. The second highest time. Again though, that's like 6 seconds short of the Velo one. But yep, now it's time for the engine labs. So I think it's funny though that after the update and that, they still kept your ghost times from like the exploited bit in there as well. In fact, now we'll go with. I've been doing speed. I've been using the speed setting all session. I'm going to stick with the speed setting for the time being. Maybe we'll go with engine labs. One I'm probably going to disappoint myself with when I don't get towards my best time as nature intended. But this is the one with, as nature intended, I've got like on 1 second short of the developer time on. Because there isn't really too much you can do. That I haven't thought of already. Ah, that's right. I can do that. I know I said I wasn't going to reset these too often, but I have a bit of an OCD thing for sort of doing what I can with this track. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry about the lack of interaction here. I've literally got myself on a concentration here now. Oh my god, I did it!
That was fun.
I've beaten a developer time. Oh my god, I'm just gonna let that sit there and have a moment of glory. Oh my god. Whew. I cannot believe I've just done that. Sorry about this, if you give us just a second. Wow. There we go. So 2 minutes 15 is now my best time on there. King of the Hill for the Pro Challenge for beating a developer time. That's it. I'm happy enough to say that I've beaten a developer time on stream. Oh, and you get a nice little icon for doing so. Very nice. They give you a little developer icon in the top corner as well. That is pretty nifty. Can sort of take a little bit more pressure off myself now, because that's a bit of a flaw I have, as I just put a bit too much pressure on myself sometimes. But here we go. Going to be metal lead oxide. It is probably going to take me forever to beat the rest of the developer times, but outside of that, I'll take beating one developer time today as a win, and I'll just go through the rest of the stream as happy and as normal as I possibly can. Yeah, even Velo gets ahead of the developer ghost for a little bit of time. I feel like for all the aesthetics in that, I should have redone this in the hovercraft, but I just love the effects on these wheels too much. I really do. And, right, so that's the developer time not beaten. Bloody hell, Velo, where did you come from? Let's see if I can beat Velo. This is Oxide Station, not Velo Station. Damn that, yep. Yeah, that developer ghost is definitely outside the realms of possibility now. Hey, Vito! Get back here. Bumping into all these walls isn't going to help me, like, but it's alright, because Vito's not getting too far ahead either way. Considering I usually clear this in just over 3 minutes, yeah, that developer time is going to be a struggler. It's definitely going to be a struggle, and now I'm not beating the Vito time. Oh well. Not gonna lie, I'm actually quite glad I did the reset on your engine labs earlier on. Because I knew I could do a decent time, but I wasn't expecting that today. Nice, that's my third best time on there. Right, so the next track, I believe, is Inferno Island. Yep. 1:35. Only 3 seconds short on Inferno Island. So that's not too bad. Okay, for Inferno Island. Let's go with... I'll go with Real Velo. Know me Real Velo. So yeah, like some of these ones with the developer times, I'll just have to study how far behind I am with some of them, which I can plausibly catch up. Because this one, you can't really build up too much momentum because there's not as many boosts on this track. Here we go. Yep, I figured the developer would go here as well. And go through this bit. I figured they wouldn't go up that ramp, and neither shall I. Yeah, it's just how they keep that momentum constant. I think I've got to start mastering the perfects as well. So what I mean by that is in the bottom right corner you'll see the little boost HUD from the drift boosting, and I think I've just got to start mastering getting them into perfect like all the time. So it's not too bad getting it into good, but I feel like you sort of lose a bit of the momentum after a while if it's just in good. I feel like this ghost might be slightly more than 3 seconds ahead of me now, but that's literally just because I hadn't always kept a decent look. Oh no, wait. Yeah, it was about 4 seconds ahead of me. But yeah, I think I've got to learn to sort of practice more with pressing the R1 button as it comes to perfect, more than anything else. But yeah, we've done, so like with Oxide Station done as the last one, that was all the Crash Team Racing tracks done. We're now into the Nitro kart section of the time trials. Inferno Island was the first track on the Nitro kart section. So now we've got Jungle Boogie. So I'm 3 seconds short on the developer time for that one as well. And we are going to be Clunkus. Okay, he's actually Crunk. He's not called Crunkus. I just call him Crunkus. Excuse me, just having a bit of a stretch there. But yeah, so we'll see how well we do on this one, and just, I think the key is going to be though just studying, if I'm quick enough, studying where the ghost goes. But I've probably said that a few times already, and I'm just at the point of repeating myself. But yeah, I've had me, but as well as
Here I come.
nope. Okay. I'm not accepting that for a start. But who would have thought being a responsible adult in 2020 would involve staying inside and playing video games to keep the NHS safe? Just, you know, going on to other subjects of what's currently going on around the world at the moment. I mean, I know it's a terrible situation, but being able to sort of broadcast streams and this is because it's something I've been on and off with recently, especially on Twitch. I've been more using the YouTube channel for my streams and stuff, but with recently setting up me Elgato game capture on for both me Twitch and me Facebook, me YouTube today. So because this is the first time I've used me Elgato for streaming. It looks like it's going well. I mean, I've got Firefox on a check in the background and stuff, but I just think it's the way that Firefox is connected to the website as to why it looks like it's lagging. But I mean, I'll get that clarified the next time I stream by just using a different site, so you know, either Chrome or Edge or something. Right, at least I got to beat Oxide's time.
You will have to do better than that.
That minute 26, that's me 7th best time on this track. But yeah, it's like giving us a bit more time to sort of put this together and to get the setup done how I want to set it up and that, and hopefully pick up and move on from there, but also to start, you know, while I'm temporarily out of work, as where I work's had to close, be able to do more things like this. Excuse me for a second. Ooh. Sorry about that. Right, so for Clockwork Wumper, tell you what, I'll use Entropy for Clockwork Wumper. Seems fitting since he's pretty much just a giant clock. But yeah, I just hope that, you know, to anyone who picks up on watching this now or when it's put onto YouTube a bit later on and they get this far in, that, you know, everybody is staying safe out there and that they're, you know, practicing the measures set in by whatever country people happen to be in, because, I mean, this could be discovered anywhere.
Yes!
And it's I think it's only the second time I've seen a developer dingo ghost in this one. Because then when it comes to the bonus tracks, there's Retro Stadium in CTR, well, in the PS4 version, which is the version I'm playing. But other than that, for every event track that's used, I'll probably just use, the character that sort of became unlockable during that time. So, like, for Twilight Tour it'll be Tawna, for Prehistoric Playground Baby T, like, so Spyro Circuit will be Spyro, Nina's Nightmare will be Nina, Koala Carnival will be Koala Kong, Gingerbread Joyride will be Hasty, Mega Mix will be Mega Mix Mania, and then Drive Through Danger will be the Velo the 27th. Right, so there's some catching up to do from getting the developer ghost beaten on this one, but I don't think I'm going to get the Velo one done either, because I know I did stumble into something, or I have a delayed momentum, and jumping off the blue fire pad in the last lap, I didn't sort of catch it at a good enough angle to sort of keep the momentum going. Bloody hell. See, yeah, it happened again. Not enough momentum behind it, and not my worst time.
Now you're on right.
But, like 5 seconds short of my best time. So, on to the next track, which I think is Android Alley. If I'm not mistaken, it is Android Alley next. It is. I'm 4 seconds shy of the developer time on this track. We've got to give Geary some love. No, not that skin. This skin. The first legendary Geary skin. Which I like the look of. Aesthetically, I think it's a very good look. But yeah, so we've got Geary here, and away we go. There isn't too much that can be done outside of apart from maybe things like that. I could perhaps do things like that. And maybe not lose some momentum along the way like I have to. But at least I'm not too far behind the Ghost. Uh-oh. Botched that up chronically there. And I feel like that's now cost me the Velo time as well. Unless I can find a way to boost up and catch up with Velo quickly. Oh, crikey. Yeah, I'm not catching the Velo Ghost now, I don't think. And I'm definitely not catching the Zan Ghost of the developers. Oh, actually. No. Just realised how much further Velo is ahead of me. I know the game pronounced him as Velo and that, but when I originally played Crash Nitro Kart, they pronounced it as Velo. And that's what I'm choosing to stick with. So my third best time on this track. There we go. So on to the next one, which is Electron Avenue. I'm 7 seconds short here. And they've got an engine ghost on this one. So I'll fight engine ghost with engine. But it's 7 seconds ahead of me, so I doubt I'm going to get I doubt I'm going to bear the results that I'd like on this one. But I'll still probably be able to beat the Velo time. Their engines in the rocker kart, I've noticed. Alright. I know I can do that better. Right. Okay, that's it. I won't do it anymore after this. I won't reset anymore after this. It's just I know I can do so much better on this track. And by so much better I mean just not be clumsy and fall off like I have done. Sorry about the lack of talking sometimes as well. Like I say, I've got a thing for being in a bit of deep concentration every now and then. I know these things are usually meant to be like, you know, a bit more interactive, a bit more entertaining, and as long as Velo doesn't catch up with me, Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to do the whole, you know, reset thing now. But I think I have a decent idea of what the engine ghost in this track does. Okay, let's just get a time established and then... And then I'll just work on the developer ghost stuff in my own time. So I'm not gonna lie, this is probably, at this rate now, this probably isn't gonna be my best run. I might not even get past the Velo ghost now that I've messed this up. But let's just see what happens when I reach the ground. Oh, I'm catching up to him. Ah, nuts. Yeah, so this is definitely not the most respectful run I've had for myself on Electron Avenue, but let's just get a score on the board again, and then we'll move on to the next one, and then obviously rectifying all these little bits and bobs I'll do in my own time. Never mind, I've beaten the Velo Ghost. Even though I feel like I shouldn't have. With that run. But it'll do. It'll do. For now. It will do for now. So now we've got Deep Sea Driving. Again, this is the one with the Velo Ghost I'm yet to beat. And I know Deep Sea Driving is Nash's track, so we shall be Arctic Nash. It might actually take, well, depending on how quickly I get through some of these, it might take a bit longer than the 2 hours. I don't know. I've got another... I know I started this a bit later as well, so I'm probably about an hour and a half into the stream now. Who knows, we'll just see what happens when I'm done with it. Here we go. So this is probably going to be one where I don't beat a Velo time. Because... not gonna lie, but... don't get me wrong, the aesthetic of the track looks cool. But... those bloody hazards are the worst. Go. Get a bit of momentum back. Dag nabbit. Definitely not beating the Velo time now. But yeah, just those obstacles towards the end of the lap are literally like the worst. things you could deal with in this game. See, even the trophy ghosts nearly caught up to me. How I managed to have the perseverance to beat the Oxide Ghost on this track, again, is beyond me. But I feel like this was probably the one I'll beat last out of all the ghosts, just literally because. Oh my god, I actually got through with one. I actually got through one. I've just by 70 milliseconds giving myself my best time, but it's still like 14 to 17 seconds short of the velo time. But like I said, today is about just getting scores back on the screen. So now we've got Thunderstruck, where I'm 15 seconds short of the developer. We'll use the Raider Megumi skin for Thunderstruck. Yeah, so sorry about that. So yeah, we've got Thunderstruck coming up next. Here we go. Yeah, because I imagine a lot of Thunderstruck is going to require like another flawless or near flawless run on the old blue flame there. Just look how far away ahead that ghost is already. And Jesus Christ, these ghosts really are something. Good, the Velo Ghost stalled. So I don't think this is my best time on here. Yep, 2:31. I'm 11 seconds short of my very best time. But onwards and upwards. Into the next level. Tiny temple. So, since it's another tiny level, shall do this. We'll go with Biker Tiny for this one. Oh, excuse me. About, let's say, the halfway, or just over halfway through the Crash Nitro kart tracks now. And then after this, we've just got the bonus tracks left to do. But here we go. Ah, so the developer route takes that way. Interesting. Here we go. Time for blue flame. We need to hit this flawlessly to get anywhere near the developer. But ah, nuts. Right. I'll just attempt this one more time with the flawless run, and if I don't get it, I'll just have to accept whatever time I put on the board. It's probably what half of this has been delayed with as well. Just having little moments like this. I guess I'll try the developer way as well, and let's just do the race and be annihilated by Oxide and Vino's ghosts on this occasion. Not you though, Entropy. Still gonna beat your ghost. I hope. Really? Am I really going to get beat by Entropy's ghost on this occasion? I am as well. So that's 2 disgraceful runs I've had today. So, like I said, folks, some of this has been ways to beat ghosts, and some of this has been ways to not beat ghosts. That was a way to not beat a ghost. Don't do that. And I'm just trying to remember which track's next. Meteor Gorge. Tell you what, I'll give Crunch some love. No, actually, we'll let him use Assembly Lane. Crunch can go on Assembly Lane. For Meteor Gorge, we'll have Hunter. Because it's been a while since we used a Spyro character, and we're using Spyro himself on Spyro Circuit. But yeah, so Meteor Gorge isn't an awfully long track. So I believe that's an Amy Ghost we're racing against on this one. Yep, so because there isn't too much you can really do with this track in terms of like going outside the box for anything. But I can lose momentum. That can always suck. Oh, apparently that was my best time as well. So there we go. Hunter's now got the best time on that track. And I believe the next one is Barren Ruins. And we've got a Dingo Ghost here. So for Barren Ruins, I guess we'll use Pasadena or Possum for Barren Ruins. And we'll see how well this goes. Hopefully we'll get a decent run on it. I didn't look at how far behind I was of the developer's time. And here we go. I wasn't meant to completely stop my momentum along the way, but such is life. Okay, who had the... And that is definitely not the best we could have done here. But... at least on this occasion I'll beat the Oxide time. But not the Velo time, I don't think. Like I said, I've got a lot of studying up to do. So that's my third best time. So I'm not, like, in a grand scheme of things, I'm not doing bad with times. It's just in comparison to times I've set before and how the developer time makes me look. It could do with a bit of work. So Out of Time is another one where we're not going to get to see a developer ghost because I haven't yet beaten the Velo ghost in here. So with Out of Time, we are going to be Big Norm. We are going to be Orc Big Norm, which was a skin that was unlockable in the Spyro Grand Prix. Yeah. So there's only 3 Nitro kart tracks left to go after this. Well, including this. Because there's this, Assembly Lane, and then Hyperspace Way. And then there's literally just the bonus tracks left to go. Alright, this is a god-awful bad attempt. Right, let's get ahead of the Entropy Ghost. Now let's get ahead of the Oxide Ghost. Just losing momentum off the blue fire too quickly. It's like, to me it feels like Hot Air Skyway or Cortex Castle. You can just lose your blue fire. It's such a whim. And I feel like sometimes there's not an ample opportunity for you to be able to, like, don't get me wrong, there's some, you know, like, in some attempts of Hot Air Skyway, I feel like, you know, it's still the easier track to keep the blue flame on, but this Velo Ghost's absolutely wiping the floor with me here. Absolutely wiping the floor. So I'm not looking forward to the developer ghost on any of the tracks I haven't completed the Velo time on yet. Couldn't be any truer with that statement. But here we go. There we go, so that's that done. 2:27, so that was apparently my second best time, but I still felt like I had a few hiccups on that. Right, so on to the next track, which I believe is Assembly Lane. I'm going to let Crunch do this one. $228, that is quite a gap. That is definitely quite a gap. It's an enjoyable track. It really is. Right, here we go. So it's a Pasadena Ghost on this one for the developer time. So far so good for the first lap. Because bloody piston things always be a ruiner.
What have we got?
And I've ruined that run for myself pretty much, haven't I now? Let's see if I can at least catch the Velo Ghost. Go. Again, sometimes I know, like, you know, I do apologise about some part lack of commentary and stuff. Right, there we go. At least I'm on track to beating the Velo Ghost, but still, that Pasadena Ghost from the developer, that is going to take me a good effort to beat that. Velo on this attempt. There we go. So 2:47, that is my third best time on this track. So, over to the next one now. Which is Hyperspaceway, and then that will be the last of the Crash Nitro kart tracks. I'm 11 seconds shy of that one. And we will be Emperor Velo the 27th for this one. We'll also be Velo again for the, I think it's the very last track, Drive Through Danger, because it was when you locked in, but this is primarily Velo's home track. There's so many different characters to possibly show off though as well. Go. Ah, nuts. I knew that would happen to me. Go. And again. Right, so I'm not beating the velo time on this run, by the looks of it. But the oxide time I should be able to beat. Go. Feels so bad for the entropy ghost in this track because of the fact that there's like two other ghosts that essentially overlap. .216, yep, that's like nearly 20 seconds lower than my best time. So that is all the Crash Nitro Kart tracks cleared for re-establishing time trials. So now we've got Retro Stadium. Tell you what, just for the fun of it, let's be Retro Crash in the Retro Blue Kart, and then I'll get all the classic, and then I'll get all the other gear set up after I've done this. Here we go. So yeah, the reason why Beanox didn't include a Beanox crate in this one is just literally because it's the same as the turbo track, except this is scaled down as like just, you know, a bit of a fun little nod to the original. And as you can tell, it is definitely a PlayStation exclusive. So that is Retro Stadium finished in my second highest score. So then we go on to the Grand Prix tracks, which were introduced every month as part of like events that would take part of events where you get to do challenges and stuff and unlock different tiers, because this is the beginning of life without those essentially. I'm only 3 seconds short on Twilight Tour, it's not too bad. So I'm going to be the character unlocked on that, which was Tawna. I'm going to be Tawna in the... yeah, I'll be in the privateer one. Yes, I know. So I'm going to go back to Nitro GT with the Beanox wheels, the Cog Blue, and the Beanox sticker. So here we go. So this is Tawna on Twilight Tour. I know, like, the Nitro Tour itself, it was, you also unlocked, like, in Egypt, Cortex, and this is where the Nitro girls came into the game as well, so, like, Megumi, Amy, Isabella, and Liz. And what they were in the originals was just, in the original Crash Team Racing, you had like sort of umbrella girls, for depending on what characters they were. I think Isabella was for Crash and Coco, Megumi was for Cortex and Engine, Amy was for Dingo and Tiny, and Liz was for Paula and Pura. Oh, there's no way I'm falling that far here. I'm not guaranteed, I wasn't going to guarantee I'll beat that anyway, but instead of me just restarting, let's just sort of cope with where I've gone to at this point. Did I even activate Entropy's Ghost for this race? I did. He just holds his own for a little bit. Before being about to get absolutely annihilated. There we go. Dioxide. This might be not so close to my best time, but so had I kept my momentum, I would have taken over Vino. So just to re-establish any kind of score.
Better luck next time.
My third best time is for the Twilight Tour. And now we've got Prehistoric Playground, which was the first Grand Prix to introduce, like, certain paint, like, you know, they had paint jobs come out for the others as well. There wasn't, sorry. But this introduced Baby T into the game. So here's Baby T. I'm going to use the blue Baby T for this one. I quite like the aesthetic of Prehistoric Playground, although like in the middle of the road, I feel like, you know, as far as how I hold up the newer the new original tracks in the game, in that I feel like it's a middle of the road kind of track. Like, you know, it's not a, like, I'll race it if it's there, but if there's like a track I feel is a bit better, I wouldn't choose this one necessarily. But I don't feel like it's a bad track. Plus, it's certainly a challenging one for anyone, you know, likes a blue fire race, which apparently my card doesn't. So let's just see if we can keep as respectfully far behind as possible. No, apparently it definitely doesn't like it. This is the one where even Oxide's Ghost gets ahead of Velo's for a little bit before Velo sort of like just speeds past it, overtakes it. But yeah, at this rate it looks like I'm only going to beat Entropy's Ghost. This is certainly not my best effort at this track. More so just because I keep clipping the wall when I get the blue flame. So that's, you know, entirely on me, that. Okay, so let's try it again. Might be able to pass Oxide. Might be in the keyword. Oh, only just lost out. So that's not the greatest run in the world, but again, not entirely terrible. Not entirely terrible. So I just got a few more tracks to do. There's about 5 more tracks. There's Spyro, Nina Nightmare. No, we've got 6 more tracks to do, sorry. Yep, so 2 minutes 12 is the developer time for this, and they said it with Dingo. Gonna be Ice Breath Spyro for Spyro Circuit here. This one, you know, is short as it is, because it's a fairly short track, this one, and it's the only one that doesn't do like a ultimate sacred fire, which is the blue flame. I feel like just because of how well like how well it played to being a tribute, like because of how well it played to the source material of Spyro and that. I mean, I know Activision own both IPs and stuff, but I feel like it respects the first, like, you know, I feel like it respects the Spyro enough to, like, you know, add some bit, you know, like add, like, you know, how in hyperspace where these doors that would usually take you to, like, the other lands and that sort of act as little bits like that. But, like, you know, when you're in another land and stuff, and it's all cool and stuff. Oh well, let's get myself a bit more respect, eh? I just feel, you know, for the aesthetics and the way the level works and stuff, that it's one of my favourite ones to come out with a Grand Prix. But when this was introduced, it was also the first Grand Prix in the series to introduce like unique paint jobs and wheels for the carts and stuff. So like they'd model paint jobs and stuff after the gems in the game. And God, I just missed that. Bye, Oxide. That's off past entropy. Right, I've left entropy behind. I'm trying to leave Oxide behind. But yeah, I think I've literally just got to up my speed game and not lose momentum a bit on this, because there's not really too much more, you know, the developer time can do that I didn't already do in previous attempts. Especially considering I'm only like 3 seconds behind on my best time. Not saying that this is gonna remotely resemble your best time, like, but there we go. So 2 minutes 19, so that's about my fourth best time, I think. And now we move on to Nina's Nightmare. Again, some of this is ways to beat ghosts, some of it's been ways not to beat ghosts. Some of it's been overachieving what I expected. Okay, one track was overachieving what I expected. This is the last one where you won't see a developer ghost, because I'm yet to beat the Velo ghost on this one. But we are going to be Ragdoll Nina for this track. And I quite like the aesthetic on this track and things like that, but I feel like it's just, again, it's another one where you can sort of lose it on a whim. I'm going to just reply to a quick message. Here we go. So the developer also takes the same route. Oh no, I say the developer. No. Sorry, I'll stand corrected on that. Just remembered I've got to beat Velo before I beat the developer. So I can't even see what the developer's goes to do on this. So that's me having a blank moment. But I don't think I'm going to beat the Velo Ghost on this attempt. Definitely not. I'm not going to just keep restarting. I have an appalling time. And I pick up and move on. But at this rate, I'm not even beating the Oxide time, so... there is that. Here we go. This was the last lap on Nina's Nightmare. Yep, again, far from my best effort. And there we go, 2 minutes 8. Yep, my 5th best effort there. And now we move on to Koala Carnival. With Koala Kong. Koala Kong was a character I thought was long overdue an appearance in something like this. Oh god, 1:39. So I'm still like 5 seconds short. So, Beanox Astronaut Kong we shall be. But yeah, I thought, like, you know, just aesthetically, I just always thought he looked like a cool character. But that might just be me. But, you know, like, he never had another boss battle in any other Crash Bandicoot game apart from the first one. I just thought it was long overdue that he was in Crash Bash, so there was that. But, you know, I felt it was long overdue an appearance in something like this for him. So this Polar one's currently Polar Ghost is currently 5 seconds faster than the best on here. Right, they just don't find a way to just whiz off very quickly. Final lap we go. Even the Velo Ghost like still on my ass. Well, you know. Polar over there. As free as he likes. There we go. 144, like literally 0.03 milliseconds better than the previous time. So now we've got Gingerbread Joyride, where we're going to go to the unlockable character from that, which was Hasty, which was one of the original characters brought in for this. Yaya Panda was also an original one brought in for this. Right, so I'm still I'm only 3 seconds short on that one as well. So we'll use Blizzard Rider Hasty for this. a skin a legendary skin I feel suits the character quite well, and especially considering it's, you know, during the Christmas time that this came out, and, you know, it's all nice and aesthetically themed with the snow and stuff. And it had quite possibly some of my favourite paint jobs on, with the way they'd done some of the sweet themed ones. But I also quite like the Halloween ones as well. Something I failed to mention during me running the Nina's Nightmare, where they introduced like the spectral paint jobs, and then like one of my favourite cards in the entire game, which is the Skull Rider, and one of my favourite skins, which was the Metalhead Oxide, which I used earlier on when doing the Oxide station run. And this has already set the tone quite badly here. Yep. That is quite bad. So, not gonna lie, this is gonna be far from my best run on this race. If anything, I'm probably only going to just beat... I'm probably going to just beat the Entropy one. Like, not like only just. I'll probably get a bit ahead of it. But once I've surpassed the Entropy one, I don't think I'm going to catch up to Oxide now. But let's just see what happens. Oh god, I missed that all completely as well, so... let's use this to rectify a mistake I made.
Better than hypersonic!
Yeah, I'm not catching up to Oxide now. Is it really the Oxide times? I seriously feel bad for poor Entropy. He's just made to look like a complete joke once the other ghosts have sort of kicked in with their times. So, not my best effort.
Now this is my
2:15, so my third best time trial on that. So then we've got the last two tracks. This next one being Mega Mix Mania, which is one of my favourite ones to have come out the Grand Prix, as well as some of my favourite skins. And the fact that, just like the Spyro circuit, it introduced a new invincibility mask as well, whereas in Spyro it was Sparks, which everybody got, and then outside of the Spyro one, it was just the Spyro characters got Sparks. But then in Mega Mix Mania, like this track specifically, everybody's invincibility mask is something called Apo Apo. But then outside of it, all the Rustland skins can use Apo Apo. So like this one I'm using now is the Rustland, like the Beanox Rustland Mega Mix skin. But there's also Rustland skins for the core 8 characters of the game. So Crash, Cortex, Coco, Tiny, Engine, Dingo, Polar and Pura. Which I thought looked pretty cool, and it's definitely one of my favourite ones because it also introduced the Golden Wumper, which is always a benefit in times where you need just a little bit of a coin boost, time by time. And I didn't even get me boost start, so that's set the tone really, really well. And I've just realised I haven't done a single one of these time trials with King Chicken. Tell you what, I might, just to finish it off, might do Space King Chicken in Drive-Thru Tokyo. Well, I fluffed that up a little bit there. Yep, definitely not my best attempt at Mega Mix Mania. Coming at 4th at this point. But I guess, you know, if those who are uninitiated or new to the game sort of happen to travel across this, then at least the time trials I'll have done will have given them some sort of guide as to what to do, but obviously maybe to improve on it. Not that, you know, people need guidance from little old me on how to do things like this, but right, I can't lose to Nitro. Cannot lose to the Entropy Ghost on this. No way. However, I think this is also one of my favourite instrumentals in the game as far as like its soundtrack goes as well. Just because for me personally it sort of reminds me of like hard rock and heavy metal sort of vibes and things like that, and that's the sort of music I usually go towards when it comes to listening to, you know, something to keep me going. Yeah, that's right, I'm not losing to the Entropy Ghost. But I certainly could have had a better time on this track as well. Yep, 2:28, that is one of my worst times. And now, there is just one more track to go. And that is Drive Through Danger, where we shall be King Chicken, just to sign things off on a very fitting note. We'll put mini space attire as well. So Drive Through Danger, development time's 150, so I'm only 8 seconds behind that. So King Chicken, Space King Chicken, and here it is, the last time trial of this stream. I've had quite a good time being able to just to, you know, establish new times on a whim again, and just, you know, when the time trial records were deleted for online purposes, that I had to start anew. I mean, it kept all the local ones, that's why several scores were already set on each track, but, you know, being able to sort of set some again for an online bit and just sort of give myself a new precedence, that like a fresh perspective that I have to beat, and sort of feels a little bit different and a bit of a novelty as well. So here we go. See if I can at least get past Oxide. Yes, I can. Not gonna lie, getting past Velo just then was like sheer dumb luck, and getting past most of that section. But my god, that Dingo Ghost. Obviously, as people can tell, this is far from the best time I've ever set on this track. Well, I say that. I was 8 seconds behind the Dingo Ghost in the best time, so Let's see if I can at least get past the Velo Ghost. That's all 3 laps I've done that. And here's Oxide just like I'm getting close. Alright, so far from my best time. Yep. About 17 seconds short. But that is every time trial played through for the sake of for this stream. Just re-establishing online scores and stuff. But I just want to go back to this one last time because, my god, it's my favourite track in the game as well, and I've beaten a developer time. I mean, that's just gonna... That 1 minute 19 is just there from when the exploit was around, and I just wanted to test it, but just having a bit of a nosy, seeing whereabouts I've landed. So 3,700, 2,756, 2,691. Some of them are going to be disgraceful. Right, 3,926, 1,332. Some of these have done it no problem with defeating the developers. 1,496. 2633, 2151, 1818, 1418, 1611, 1491, 1865, 1752, 1205, 1277, 1185. Look at that, 2 minutes 7, 2 minutes 8. And I'd only just defeated the developer times, and I'm not even in the top 1,000, but still, kudos. 1189. 185. Oh, crikey. That's close. 1689. But yeah, anyway, I was wanting to check the Engine Labs one after I defeated the developers. So, yeah, for those... I'm just going to nosy at this again. So, for those tuning in, now or later on, especially at this particular time with the pandemic, stay safe, people, but thank you very much, and I will see you all later.